On a quiet spring morning in 2014, three 12-year-old girls walked into the woods together. But only one of them planned on walking back out. What happened next would shock the world, ignite a global moral panic, and forever change the way we talk about the internet, mental health, and childhood innocence. This is the story of an online monster that never existed, and the two children who believed he did. You're watching Comic Book Crime, and this is the story of the Slender Man stabbing. Let's tear into it. Payton, Bella, Leutner, and Morgan Geyser grew up together in Waukesha, Wisconsin, the kind of suburban town where nothing bad ever happens. They were inseparable. Playdates, sleepovers, inside jokes, the kind of best friendship that seems unbreakable. But everything changed when another girl entered their world, Anissa Weier. Anissa wasn't close to Payton, but she connected instantly with Morgan. They lived in the same apartment building, they shared the same interests. And one of those interests was creepypasta, online horror stories that spread like digital campfire tales. Among them was one legend that stood taller, darker, and more disturbing than the rest: Slender Man, a faceless, supernatural figure born on message boards. Harmless fiction, but not for Morgan and Anissa. What began as a fascination quickly spiraled into obsession, and by winter 2013, both girls believed the monster was real, literally. They convinced themselves that Slender Man watched them, waited for them, and would kill their families if they didn't prove their loyalty. And in their minds, there was only one way to do that. The plot didn't begin in the woods. The girls had three plans before the final one. Plan 1, kill Payton while she slept during a sleepover. They didn't go through with it. Plan 2, attack her in a school bathroom where drains would make cleanup easier. They backed out again. Plan 3, lure Payton into David's Park under the innocent disguise of hide and seek. By the morning of May 31st, 2014, the decision had been made. After a sleepover filled with normal preteen chatter, movies, games, snacks, the girls asked Payton to go for a walk. She trusted them. Why wouldn't she? And that trust would nearly cost her life. Deep inside the wooded area of David's Park, Anissa told Payton to lie down and cover herself with leaves. A game, she said. The moment Payton's back hit the ground, the game was over. Anissa and Morgan pinned her down. Morgan held the 5-inch blade, 19 stab wounds, legs, arms, torso, 2 puncturing major organs. One missed a major artery by the width of a human hair. Another sliced through her diaphragm, reaching her liver and stomach. But despite the brutality, despite the blood loss, Payton did something no one expected. She survived. Barely conscious, she dragged herself out of the woods toward a bike path. A passing cyclist found her, bleeding, crying, but alive. Doctors later said that if any wound went a fraction of a millimeter deeper, this story would have ended differently. Payton spent a week in the hospital and months learning to feel safe again. Years later, she admitted she still sleeps with scissors nearby, a reminder of trauma that never fully leaves. While Payton fought for her life, Morgan and Anissa walked for hours, heading toward what they called Slender Mansion, a place they believed sat 200 miles away in a national forest. Police found them 5 hours after the attack, sitting calmly near a furniture store with the knife still in their bag. During questioning, Anissa cried, apologized, and insisted the attack was necessary. Morgan showed no empathy at all. Detectives described her as flat, emotionless, almost detached from reality. Then came the unsettling revelations. Morgan had lifelong hallucinations, voices, ghost-like figures, imaginary companions, a shadowy entity she called it that appeared in mirrors. Within months, psychologists diagnosed her with early-onset childhood schizophrenia. Despite being only 12, both girls were charged as adults. The country was divided. Were they manipulators? Victims of delusion? Proof of the internet's growing influence on vulnerable minds? In 2017, both were found not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. Anissa Weier received 25 years to life in a mental health facility. She was released in 2021 under supervision. Morgan Geyser received 40 years to life. She spent years battling psychosis, improving with medication, and attending review hearings. By 2025, doctors declared she had made significant progress. She was approved for release, though placement in group homes repeatedly fell through due to public safety concerns and community backlash. Her supervision will last until 2058. The Slender Man stabbing sent shockwaves through the digital world. What had started as a fictional internet boogeyman became the focus of debate, fear, censorship, documentaries, movies, petitions, and outrage. The legend was never the same. The online community surrounding Slender Man was never the same, and 3 children's lives were permanently reshaped by a story that was never real. But Payton survived. She rebuilt her life. She pursued a dream of working in medicine, inspired, ironically, by the crime that almost destroyed her. In the end, this story isn't about a monster in the woods. It's about 2 vulnerable minds swallowed by a fantasy, and a survivor who refused to let that fantasy define her future. If you like this content and want to stay caught up, please like and subscribe. Tell us your thoughts down below.